new topic. Instead of a main topic, we're gonna do something a little different this week. We're gonna have a segment called Hentakes.
We're still.
I feel like a drop should have happened after
I
that.
thought you were gonna give me like a little sound effect.
Oh,
or something.
I didn't have any sound effect ready. I don't know.
You might have to add one.
All you had to do was leave some space and we could add it.
Man, you gotta warn us if you gonna do some shit like that.
My bad.
We added post.
I threw the ball up.
I'm saying you can add it.
I'm sorry,
Anyway,
man.
So basically, what we're gonna do is all four of us have a topic, and we're gonna take 10 minutes out to present a topic, give our thoughts, let everybody talks about it, and at the end of 10 minutes, you get buzzed, and then move on to the next one.
We need a buzzer.
We
need like live sound effects.
I have a bell on my phone. Like, we'll use a bell. Like, why are we using one phone? Like, but anyway, so let us know if you like this segment. I think it'd be a nice way to switch up the vibes a little bit.
Vibes.
A little bit of fun here, and also get serious depending on topic. So you can always get into everything.
We'll start.
I can go first because I'm pretty sure mine is like the. Yeah, I'm pretty lighthearted too. So yeah, I'll go first. So basically, I think the thing I was gonna go with here in terms of my hint take was just like a black movie that I think is overrated, and I'm gonna start off this statement by saying, God bless the dead. I think that Belly is one of the worst movies ever. And that is my. I want to start by saying I love DMX. I like Nas. I love DMX.
Bruh.
I think Belly's a terrible movie. I think Belly was like a 30-minute TV special at best. I feel like you start with Belly and it has that kind of epic opening.
That's like one of the best openings.
That's all I'm saying.
And I hear a lot of people say that, but you can put that in a music video as well, could you not?
I thought it was a music video.
It wasn't. It was from the movie.
I don't think I've seen the full movie.
Fun fact,
I've seen like parts of it on different occasions at the barbershop.
Yeah, it's a barbershop, but as I'm saying, it's like a black it's considered a black classic. I mean, if you go on Rotten Tomatoes, I think I saw it like a 16%. So a lot of people clearly share my views. But a lot of black people, we stand strong in movies like that because it's got DMX in it, it's got Nas in it, T-Boz. Who else is in there? I feel like it's more than that. I just can't.
I just hate the fact that if you like a rapper or like any type of like either music, entertainment, you automatically can act. You know what I mean? It's like
DMX could act a little bit.
It makes sense though. That makes sense.
He was in Crabs to the Grave.
He's been in a lot of movies.
I'm be honest, I haven't seen that.
He was early on that wave. He was early on that wave of.
They say he was good.
Yeah, Belly is.
Belly just isn't. Belly like starts off kind of okay, but after that first 30 minutes, you kind of watch and you're like, yo, what the hell is going on? It kind of just stretches out. I'm gonna just get spoiler alert. So basically, like, then you get to the part of the movie where like DMX is like supposed to be killing the dude that leads the Nation of Islam or whatever the nation equivalent is, and you're just like, bro, what the hell is the point of the movie? It started off as a movie about a robbery, drug dealing, and Nas moving to Africa. The movie doesn't make any sense. It's all over the place. I think that one scene is really cool, and people like to give. I think it was Hype Williams today, right? People want to give Hype Williams a lot of credit for that, and I'll give him credit. It was cool. He said yes, but you see that he set the music part up very well. Has Hype Williams ever done another film since then? Because the music part is set up very well. That opening scene in that robbery is great.
It was a vanity project.
Yeah, I mean a lot of things are, but I've seen like Rockefeller movies better than that. I saw Paper Soldiers was better than that.
State Property 2.
That's
a fucking movie. You figure deal me?
Like that, Killer Season, cameras, when he hit the dude.
Rapper movies are dumb, bro.
They're vanity project.
That actually could be the hot take in and of itself. Most rapper movies are stupid.
Yeah. Like when it's just like a rapper movie, like that. Like yeah. Like rappers can be okay in movies.
50 Cent makes good. Well, actually,
Get Rich or Die Trying don't make sense, honestly. The movie you
forgot about that.
No, that makes sense. That's exaggerated.
That's the only one.
It's exaggerated.
No, it's definitely exaggerated. The villain and this is like
I'm about to say,
but then Kane,
the pimp burned his mother alive. Bro, it doesn't make any sense, and he's working for the pimp. And bro, no. But I mean, I'm sorry.
I love your voice now. It has so much pain in it.
Bro, man. Then you have sex with a dude with his jaw wired shut.
That was so
he probably actually got that.
Okay, fine. That's probably true. That's probably
so
real.
Much pain in it, nigga. That's not what I thought of when I heard 50 Cent. I just said nigga that sounds.
I hear a nigga that can't open his mouth. Pause. But I mean, I'm just saying it's one of those things. Like, I think That's not even how I take the most rap movies bad. It's just Belly because people act like that has to have this special place.
Belly, huh?
Bro, I think it's a terrible movie, and I just really don't think it's good. I think that's like the biggest. Like, I don't find much in it that's like good at all. And I mean, it also goes into the fact that I don't like Nas a lot. Like Nas is cool, but Nas.
So you don't like Nas, or you just
I'm
you
about
don't
to
see
say,
it?
yeah.
Of Nas.
I don't know, for Nas, I just don't get it sometimes. I mean, the coolest thing about Nas is like the Hennessy and the Fade, right?
He has good music. he raps very well. A lot of the people you like were inspired by him in some.
You might as well give your fucking Illmatic fucking thing too in there, dude.
Oh, damn, I don't think Illmatic's that good. I said that before. I don't. I don't
said
say
it wasn't a classic.
Oh, to me, it's not. I think I fell asleep listening to Illmatic. I think Illmatic's boring as hell, but that's me. I'm sorry.
Nas is not in my top 5 or top 10.
I mean,
Nas is a good rapper.
That's like saying, I don't know, that's like saying, oh, like Beethoven. You know what I mean? Beethoven and shit. Like, it's like, it's a classic.
It's what some people believe, but I mean, bro, and that's why it's like, oh, that's why I'm like, bro, I mean, yeah, maybe I just hate Nas. I think my hot take is I hate Nas.
I hate Nas.
I like that
It's probably just too boring for you or something.
And that's what it kind of is, bro. I ain't gonna lie, my favorite album by Nas is the one where he's like the boring old man and he's talking about his divorce from police. I think Life is Good is like a really good project.
I like that.
Outside of that,
you got the dress in his hand.
Yeah, that's a really that's a strong project. I love that project by Nas. Outside of that, I think Nas is boring as hell. You know what? Yeah, screw it. I changed my take. I hate Nas.
Wow. Okay. The Hentakes podcast is.
I don't hate Nas. I don't like Nas.
Does not condone all the views stated in the past.
Basically, this is how we gonna get our shine. I'm gonna have an online beef with Nas.
About to say.
I don't even know how.
Don't let me get. You know what my topic gonna be? I hate Jay-Z. Wait, I'm shit. Like shit me.
At least Nas get on social media. My beef will go somewhere. Jay-Z won't even see. Well, Jay-Z will see it, but he won't talk to you.
Nah, he not gonna say.
Yeah.
He might put it in a fucking rap 5-10 years
Respectfully.
later.
You really would. I don't know if you respectfully.
Humbly.
Jay-Z.
Nah, respectfully.
Jay-Z made a rap about fucking Deshaun Stevenson and fucking LeBron and Soulja Boy and all that shit in 2007. So yeah.
Oh man, yeah, but you know, at the end of the day, if you should watch Belly one time because I feel like you have to watch it.
I still haven't watched it. I gotta watch it.
You have to watch it to understand how bad it is. You have to watch it one time because I watched it and I was just like, this is an awful movie, and I actually made it like a Friday night viewing. Like I sat there and
got the popcorn ready.
I had some pizza, some wings. It's
Belly.
Belly.
He said
There's
the move.
There's a random Jamaican shootout. It's just all over the place.
It's life in the hood.
Because they got, remember that dude that said we don't something with curry, we eat curry. The dude when the Toronto Raptors won the championship.
Oh, that guy.
That Jamaican, he's in that joint. He's probably in shots too, isn't he? I don't know. I haven't seen that one. I ain't gonna be real. I'm gonna actually seen it, but I thought that'd be racist. But anyway,
I haven't seen shots. I probably don't.
I'm gonna make that my next scheduled viewing.
Yeah, I'm
I feel like I'm going to shoppers with low expectations. I feel like Belly would be something.
You gotta keep it low.
Not to say that there's anything wrong with those type of movies. Anyway, you know, yeah, but shout out to black cinema. Shout out to rappers that make movies if you can diversify your bank. Yeah, but you know, Belly's not that good. You know, Nas is overrated. Keep living life.
Okay, all right, goddamn.
More life.
On that note,
Shit. Nas, if you want to sponsor us and we're Black Podcast.
Oh, shoot,
we like Hennessy too.
Oh, we like Hennessy. Dang it! Now I'm not gonna be in the deal.
No, we need what he has. The fuck.
You
He is
know-
competition. Direct competition.
Yeah, but he actually put on some black bit for Hennessy.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
We
so-
made
There's so much money, bro.
He gonna help us out.
Oh,
Yeah.
not now, not me.
No one knows. Fuck him.
That's
Help
all
us out.
Jay-Z talking about helping out black businesses. Hey, Dante, I'm sorry, that's personal.
I'm about to say Dante, you might.
Better get-
So y'all can be a 3-man show. That nigga can't come.
No, we
unless
trying to
he
be in his
apologizes.
commercial. His next
I'm
commercial.
about to say it's gonna be Darian, Malik, Aaron, and
And
Monte. And Monte.
Monte. Some random thing.
Monte Johnson.
Monte Jones.
This nigga Nas gonna replace
He
me
gonna
on
do
podcast.
it. He gonna do it.
You want to know the difference?
He gonna do the trumpet too. That's funny.
This shit gonna be. He gonna have a deep ass voice.
It's gonna turn into a trombone out of nowhere. He gonna be like, whoa, wait, who
Who the fuck is that
This
nigga?
nigga a tenor.
got the trombone in this joint?
Wait, Dante get so big.
Yeah, Monte, you did it. That was great, man. Shit, yeah. Right, Nas?
Good job, Monte.
Right, Nas?
You're welcome, man.
Alright.
Smooth jazz. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm let Nas down right now.
I let Nas down.
What's that? I can't remember.
That's what's
I
called.
let Nas down probably.
That's what's called.
Shout out to Cole.
I can't believe J. Cole made this.
Oh man.
This is inventive.
No, it's for that. He ain't like that shit. That's what the line was.
That's a lie, bro.
The nigga that made Uchi Wally, you tried to impress
Oh
him.
my God.
He didn't make Uchi Wally, excuse me.
But yeah, same thing. All right, I'll give my thing.
Shout out Nas.
You know.
My second toast to Nas. Please don't write us off.
I'm lying, Nas. I got Illmatic. I got fucking New York State of Mind tattooed on my arm. Now they got it.
That's the only good song on that album.
That's what they
Anyway, go ahead, keep going.
All right. So mine's a little bit more, I guess, political than Dante. So, on Twitter, you go and see people talk about capitalism and just how awful capitalism is, and it's the worst thing in the world. It's the reason why we have all the problems that we have in the world and in America. And I just think, not that capitalism is like without flaws. It definitely has flaws. Like it's basically like a zero-sum game where there has to be losers, I guess. Like everybody can't win. But I guess my point is there's no like economic system or whatever the word, I'm probably using that wrong, that is perfect, I guess. And capitalism has its flaws, but there's a lot of instances of things like socialism or worse, communism that don't work. Like strictly socialists and strictly communist countries that just don't work, and it leads to a lot of suffering for people that's supposed to help. And I think there's ways to take capitalism and tweak it so we can make it better and make it more acceptable for people. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, whether it's like, FDR and you have a New Deal that's out to actually set and help people and put programs in place to get people to work, get people jobs, get people housing. But in general, I don't hate capitalism. I don't hate the idea of free markets and all that. And honestly, like, I don't think I hate the idea of billionaires per se, because I don't know, I do think there's something to be said that there are people. I just don't believe that everybody is a billionaire, just like some evil bastard who like sits in his lair and sits there and
Tower.
The ivory tower and just pisses on his servants and on the poor people and all that. And I feel like that's a very controversial topic because people like, it was capitalism all along. It was damn capitalist society, like especially with COVID. Which, and I guess, COVID is exposing some of the flaws of capitalism. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, America is bouncing back, like, economically and through capitalism. I mean, because of capitalism, because we're a rich country, we're probably going to be able to get through COVID way quicker than everybody else. So, I mean, strictly financially. So, I don't know what you guys think about that, but...
I think the thing with capitalism is it's not fair to everybody. Like especially like the black community, I get why a lot of us aren't like bought into the idea of capitalism because like it's not like we all start off on like an even ground like with everybody. Right. Like we can all go out and make a living and fulfill the American dream. Like some of us really struggle like to kind of get like just to sustain like the essentials, like how to eat, like how to get clothes for our kids and that type of stuff. So I think that's the thing with that a lot of the issues that especially black people have with capitalism, like, oh, they're rich, they only care about themselves, they don't care about us, we don't have access to the markets or whatever, or the opportunities that they have. And that's just my whole thing. I mean I like the idea of capitalism, but like if everybody was on like a like it was even, like an even ground, so, it would be perfect. Like,
because I get what people say, because like I said earlier, there has to be losers when it comes to capitalism. Not everybody can win, right. And then marginalized and minority peoples, they're usually people who lose. Mm-hmm. But we just talked about Nas, and Nas is always about
he's
black
a loser. Doctors will say he's a fucking loser. I love you, Nas. I'm sorry.
No. Mr. Jones, please make sure my check is I'm still a loyal servant. Please. I don't know what these niggas talking about.
Please, no.
You're a capitalist. He don't want you either.
Yes, he do. You don't think Nas a goddamn capitalist? Fucking
Coinbase.
Yeah, I was about to say
Coinbase. That nigga knows. He understands capitalism.
Very well.
It's alright.
But yeah, I think
partner up with no names.
Yeah, I think we're destroying the system.
Never.
But like for black people, we definitely. Basically what I'm saying when I was saying black owned everything. I think there's a way for black people to take capitalism and turn it into something that works for us. Yeah. Like building our own communities, building. I mean, obviously we can't break away from America like we live here, but building our own communities and promoting entrepreneurism. And I know we made fun of not made fun of it, but we pointed out like the pitfalls of it. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
To create wealth, right? Because people can say, oh, socialism, we all have the same, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, the way to, the best future for black kids and black families is to have money and to be able to secure the future of our kids and our family. And, invest the money in the black community, invest money into black businesses, like the Hentakes podcast.
Yeah, help us out.
So, I mean, so I just think capitalism, it's, like I said, none of those flaws not perfect, but I don't think, I mean, it definitely has caused problems, right? Like I said, like, especially with COVID, people had to work. People have, the wealth disparity is completely nuts. But that's what I'm saying. I think there's ways for lawmakers to be able to stop things that allow, rich people to, profit and not be taxed, put their money into their companies to avoid tax, companies to, cut people's jobs so they can keep share prices. So there's ways to regulate things. That's the problem. Republicans get into office and they deregulate everything.
I'm not even gonna say just Republicans. I mean, the hardest part about that when you talk about capitalism is that you talk about politicians having to do certain things. Everybody has vested interest. Like a lot of these politicians are invested in so many of these things. It's like what you're saying.
Right, they're rich.
They're rich. Just like think about it. They're a part. Not a lot, but I mean some of them are a part of that 1%. Or they are like in their states. They're like. Wealthy as hell compared to like some people who live there. Like think about like a Texas senator probably compared to like somebody who just lives in Texas. Yeah. The wealth is the money's a little bit different, and it's just hard to like expect them to do that. Which is why like like what you're saying, capitalism. If we all just sit around and talk about it, it's like capitalism and like it's probably not gonna change. It's the name of the game. It's like you're not. It's like you always say, like you're not just gonna like start playing football at halftime. You were playing basketball when the ball tipped off. It's just not the way it goes, but it's like, there has to be a better way to like fix the system and figure out ways around it than what we've been doing. Like, I mean, we all understand like there are benefits to capitalism. It's just like you feel some type of way when you just look around and you like see these disparities and you see, oh my God, like all the money is concentrated in these
it has to be regulated, I guess what I'm saying.
It's hard.
And Republicans get it and they vote away regulations, which is why we had things like the housing crisis and all that. You sit there and you take away Dodd-Frank, you take away all these laws that are put into place to be a safety net, and then companies are allowed to do X, Y, Z, or not be taxed, not pay their fair share, and basically that's the way that wealth. Like I said, once you make those first couple millions, it's easy to flip that into more and more millions.
Yeah, exactly.
I just think same way I guess I feel with the police, the idea of abolishing the police. I just think. We have police. I just think there's ways to better the police, right? Instead of just doing away with it, I think there's a way for that to work the way it's supposed to work.
Right.
Instead of just abolishing it or just. And as far as like other ways of doing it, like I'm definitely open to other things. I'm just saying I don't think it's easy to say, oh, capitalism sucks is the reason why everything is wrong with the world.
I don't think it's capitalism. I don't even think that's the issue. I think it's the Is there anywhere else where capitalism is like successful outside of America, or is like a major thing outside of America? That's what I was wondering before I said it. Because like if it was just in America, I can tell you like the main issue is I to me is the racist foundation that we have and like that.
Well, right.
Like if it's anywhere else where it's like fine.
That's what I'm saying. Like because we have this built-in thing where like black people, basically like we're 200 years behind the race, right? Like we're screwed off jump, and I don't think that's a function of cap. I mean, I guess in a way it was, right? Because the South was pretty much funded during like the slavery time by slavers. So in a sense, it was, but this is a unique situation. Like people enslaved for 200 years, and But I do think that there are ways that maybe we can, I don't know, even the playing field. But I think I still get into political, and that might be pie in the sky thinking too. But I think everything, whether it's socialism or communism, even if it sounds good where everybody gets the same, everybody does that. There's always winners and losers in all these systems. Like
I agree with that because like I don't think it's fair. Like outside racism removed, if we were all like if we all had the same starting line, I get there's some people who just don't put in the same work as other people, and I don't think they should receive the same benefits. I don't know if that's problematic or whatever, but like racism removed, granted, but like with racism in the picture, then that's
like I'm not saying I'm Mr. Capitalism. I just think
Right.
it's not a cut and dry. My favorite word, nuance, I guess. That's what I'm saying.
Let's let it
I'm
break.
pretty sure our woke listeners are
following along just nicely.
No name is right. It's a strongly worded letter.
yes,
right?
yes.
yeah, black bastard.
All right, next topic.
Y'all want me to
Well,
go?
niggas go.
Go there.
Oh,
no.
So my hot take or Hentake is gonna be the abolishment of welfare.
Okay, go ahead, man. What you got, big dog?
They gonna get us the fuck out of here.
They gonna get us to the pay for this?
Yes.
I want to hear where you coming from.
I mean, alright, so boom, man. If you guys have seen the way, obviously, welfare is, there's certain assistance programs and temporary, like housing, there's temporary, like government, assistance via food or payments to families that are in poverty or, impoverished.
Mm-hmm.
My argument is, in my opinion, I think it is a crutch to low-income families and keeps them in low-income places of poverty. And what I mean by that is that, I'll give you an example. When the stimulus checks first came out for people that were staying at home or people who were, affected by COVID, a lot of those jobs were retail jobs, a lot of service jobs, a lot of restaurants. Some worked at their local, markets and stuff like that. And obviously they were impacted at a different level. So they received stimulus checks, and what do? Obviously you went and they stimulated the economy. They would spend money on food, clothes, things that made them happy in the midst of their pain and sorrow. Cool. They did a second round. But at the second time, obviously it was, money, but then the second time, now restrictions are more lifted, and now people can go back to work. And unemployment also, for some of these folks that are laid off, was reduced, but still more than what you would make if you were just unemployed. So my argument is, we see what the economy looks like, and I don't know if you guys seen the job report that just came out, but we're 700,000 jobs less than what we thought we would have in April. Simply because people won't go back to work.
Is that with COVID or without COVID?
This is just what the market thought.
Okay, okay, I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
So I know what you're gonna say, Aaron. You're gonna say like these are low-paying jobs. These are jobs that aren't gonna support the family.
No, that's
What
not.
I have to say is that it just shows you that from a program standpoint, if you're gonna use that same example towards welfare, if you're paying somebody to stay home or not to go to work, essentially, then it becomes a burden. I feel like we could use that money towards a higher, from an infrastructure standpoint, from a more education standpoint towards the children, from a higher level. I mean, the literacy for Americans is what, like 7%, something crazy stat in terms of, like, you know what I'm saying, like for us versus other countries, and you know what I'm saying, our math skills. And,
You mean like kids of a
like
certain
kids,
age?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of a certain, for kids and stuff like that. Like, our schools suck. So that $500 million that we're spending on welfare, I feel like we could use that towards a greater good.
Before they give their response, give me 1 second. Before they give their response, what's your alternative? If you're gonna get rid of it, what are you replacing with before they go and give you their responses?
I mean, I would have to think about that. I mean, I'm just saying, like, there has to be. I mean, that would be something I wouldn't have 10 minutes to think of to say.
You gonna make a bold claim?
It's not a bold claim, but I'm just saying.
A bold claim is we gotta get rid of welfare. That is a bold claim.
We'll have to get rid of
That's what I'm saying.
Seismic change.
But I've already
That's
talked
it.
about. But I
hear what you're saying about
everything.
using the money for different things, but I'm just saying.
In the meantime, yes, we would keep welfare the way it is, yes.
Yeah.
But eventually, we would abolish it or we would get rid of it because we would have a greater society in terms of an educational standpoint. We would have more families that are lifted out of poverty because of their educational. We would be able to create more jobs from other sources, from the money and things of that nature. Now, I understand we'll lose some jobs, obviously, from people that help with welfare. But again, we will be able to look at other things.
I guess I don't really get the like. So, like, why do you want to do away? Like, I get, like, we should, like, everybody, like, this goes back to the capitalism thing. Like, people shouldn't have to be, like need the government funding for, like, to get food and to get clothes. But, like, why not, though? Like,
but we already decided.
I think it's just.
We already said that in capitalism,
right?
There's going to be losers. So, like, we can't just let those people not, you know what I mean? Not everybody can win in capitalism.
I think welfare ties more into that not necessarily losing, but starting off with a bad hand. That type of situation.
Or anything. I mean, you can't just let people live on the street.
No one's saying that people need to live
Like,
on the
you
street.
can't.
But I'm just saying, like,
I'm saying you can't just like let people just.
You can't just let niggas die.
But hey, like
I'm not saying that people should die in the street.
All right, wait. So when you get rid of welfare, you get rid of Section 8 housing?
No.
Okay, I'm just asking.
So I'm just saying, like, when I mean welfare, I mean like
snaps and what's it called, the little cards.
Those things are important, though.
No, I feel like it should be reduced to a certain level, to the point where it's not something
So,
that somebody can.
So there's a mother with 2 kids, a young mother with 2 kids.
Break it down,
Not-
bro. What you gotta say?
She
I
doesn't
feel
have
like
a
it's a song.
I'm your brother.
She doesn't have a college degree. Like, you take away
So
her welfare, what is she supposed to do? That's
So
what we do.
I think we need to, instead of looking at scenario, I feel like who failed her? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of not I'm not saying like her, but like where did we go wrong as a
Okay, systemic
you know what I'm saying?
racism.
Yeah.
Well, that's the answer. Okay, but that's fine. So how she eat food the next day? So
I don't think systemic racism
You
is
can't-
the easy.
let's-
I think that's the easy answer. I think that's the
Okay,
easy
but
answer.
I guess my point is, like, she has a.
like, you can't just say, and we can't blame everything on
No,
systemic
but
racism.
even still, like to Aaron's point, like
Because
in the
just 'cause you
meme.
don't have a college degree doesn't mean that you can't go out.
No, I
and, like,
agree, but
And because now I can make the argument about, you know what I'm saying, we can go ahead and say, you know, we can talk about like systematic racism or systemic racism, and we can talk about, you know, there's jobs out there that black people don't want to take.
yeah, you don't know that. See, you can't.
No,
can't do
that's
that.
bullshit, bro.
You
It's
can't
not-
do that.
it's
not
You
always
don't know
just
that.
black people because there's
What?
white
Because
people.
there's
There's
minorities that
there's
came
white
up here,
people.
like, I'll give you an example of Hispanics that go and do those jobs that are undesirable to the black.
There's
No,
white
like,
people
community.
on welfare
Like,
too.
But
There's
you don't
white
know. But
people on
you
welfare,
can't
too.
just say, oh, people don't want those jobs. You don't know that.
Right.
I guess what I'm saying.
Like sometimes
If
it's
I-
like
if you look at
that's
the
an
people that are in
assumption.
those jobs, you don't see black people.
No, we've all heard that stereotype before, but it becomes a generalization.
But you can't- but I said,
that's, the
you
hard, that's the
can't
hard
say
thing about
that.
it. I'm not saying what you're saying
You
hasn't
might
been
be
said.
wrong.
I have
I'm
heard it
sure.
before multiple times.
And then you said like,
You know what I mean? Like, I talk to black
I mean,
people
and
all
like
the
the
time.
jobs
They say they don't want these jobs.
and you said
but-
the job report came out. It was 700. Well, a lot of those jobs are gone just because COVID. They're not coming back.
That's why I asked
No,
you, is it
right.
COVID?
So okay.
Well, we don't have the lowest
when we go to y'all go to a bar or y'all go to a restaurant.
Yeah.
What are you noticing? There's way longer working waste times. There are way less.
Because the capacity is low and people want to be outside.
But there's now the capacity is more. There's no waiters. The same people don't want to come back, and it's a different story because I feel like obviously wages could be a thing. But I'm just saying, like, I'm just using that example as those people that are now on quote unquote welfare in a way, or getting paid and getting stimulus and getting checks on unemployment. There's no incentive to come back to work. So if you get rid of something like that,
guess-
which they'll do at some point, I guarantee you, people will go back to work.
Bro, you can't get rid of wealth because you. I guess my point is you can't just let people. Like, going back to my point, what's the lady gonna do to eat the next day? Like, that's more important than.
I get what you're saying.
I get what you're saying.
but
That's like
yeah.
saying for a kid, oh son, here's a book. Don't take this in the long run. When the nigga's starving, just give him a sandwich, give him food right
I
now.
get that. I'm not
Right.
saying that they don't deserve food. Like, I'll give you an example, like Skid Row. Skid Row just really, they just moved all those people, homeless
Right.
people that on Skid Row. But at the end of the day, I guarantee you, those people are going to get some type of education. They're going to get some type of assistance. They're not just going to be, left alone. But at the same time, it's going to give them a better opportunity.
Okay,
Like,
a lot of people in welfare, I'm pretty sure, have jobs though too. Though I guess is what I'm saying. Like they're productive
And
members of
welfare
society.
isn't like a.
It's
It's
not
not,
just
like a thing you just stay in like for a long period.
Yeah.
They have like conditions in there like you
Yeah.
have to get a job after a certain point. The same thing with unemployment.
Yeah.
You have to like try to like be actively looking for work. Like it's not like they're just like it's some people who
but
finesse
there are
it.
some people that, but I mean, there are
There's
some
They're
people
bad
that,
apples, sure, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who need the
Who
money,
need that shit, like, and they can't go to college because they have, like Aaron was
Yeah.
saying, they gotta feed they gotta work full time. They can't
I'm
afford
about to
it.
say we live in a world
Right.
here where like you have to have a college degree just to fucking
Yeah, and that's
a
the
data entry job, like
Right.
for like $2 an hour. I don't know. You can't get rid of welfare.
It's so
Yeah.
it's
there
so
needs to be,
complex.
there just needs to
Like,
be a better system.
It's a human rights
it's big.
I mean, yeah, you can say that we can improve
big.
the system. That's true.
Yeah.
We can make improvements to everything. It's hard to just say it has to be gone though, because then it's like going to be a lot of.
In the ideal world, honestly, nobody would be on welfare.
But you wouldn't.
I feel that. I feel that.
We don't. You wouldn't
You
need
wouldn't
need that
Yeah,
shit.
you wouldn't need it.
I feel that.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm about to say, like, I think kids had to eat, so get the snap bars.
Niggas gotta eat. Shout out to
That was definitely a hot take. Goddamn, make it sizzling.
I get where you was going. I get where you was going.
Make it sizzling. I'll give you that.
I'm just saying.
I mean, it's just one of those things. What you're saying, and look, it's like you said, it's like in an idealist society, people wouldn't need to have to depend on the government for these
It'd be
things.
utopia.
Yeah, it's just hard because like we all know that people don't get, like Darian said, people don't get dealt the same hand in life.
Right.
It is what
It's
it
just
is.
fucking sense. Yeah. That's funny. It tied into capitalism. Whoa.
And shout out to the fact that
Damn, nigga, that's really. Dinner's done.
I thought someone was murdered.
We can take this off the motherfucking the hot cakes.
we got to shut up. We
Next topic.
Oh shit. All right, here we go.
This nigga was all in it now.
I know. Now it's my turn. You know what? Something that's kind of been not bothering me, but something that I've been thinking about.
you hate Nas too.
I do think Nas is slightly overrated, but I don't hate Nas. I enjoy his music. But anyway, it's not about Nas. But anyway, like we had a lot of like every time, and we talked about this kind of off mic, but every time we have like a major like racist event, like whether it's police brutality towards black people or any type of discrimination, we kind of see like, oh yeah, we're going through that too over here, or we're going through that same issue, and like what about us, and blah 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 blah. And I get it, and this is like, I'm gonna start off with a caveat. Everybody's struggle, like it's definitely important, and it means different things to different people. Like I'm not discrediting anybody's history or anything like that. But just like one thing that I was having, like especially with the like comparison that we see and the adding on to the black experience and stuff that we go through. I guess that the hot take that I have is like, I don't know, just sometimes I just don't feel like we're kind of acknowledge, like the experience that we went through is, in my opinion, one of the, like it's not comparable to any other experience. And like the fact that every time like some major event happens in the black community, there's always like maybe a week later, oh yeah, this community, like we go through the same thing, or this community, we go through the same thing. Like it's not like, it's almost like, and I'm trying to think of a good way to say it. It's almost like we don't really get the attention like on certain issues that we're supposed to get before it becomes a whole like human rights issue. Before it, like even the concept like using Black Lives Matter for an example, like just before it could even become like just focusing on the things that we've dealt with, the things that we have to go through because of slavery, because of racism, because of all these like corrupt systems in place, like. I don't know. It just feels like we're like not on the same playing field as any other group, and I don't like to play and Aaron said like, what he said, the race Olympics,
the Pain Olympics,
the Pain Olympics. But like that just kind of rubs me the wrong way when as soon as we get like a moment to kind of just talk about what's going on in the black community, it quickly becomes like a bigger thing. Like, oh yeah, human rights, yeah, like human, like people should be, but like what about black people? Like we've been fucked over for so long. We're still fucked over, still recovering. Like not even get into the housing, like all those type of politics. But that's just, I don't know if it's really a hot take necessarily, but that's just it kind of rubs me the wrong way. I feel like we don't get this.
So what do you want? I guess is what I'm saying. Like what do you mean? Like you mean like, oh, Black Lives Matter? You know. Arsenal Soccer Club has a Black Lives Matter sign on there, in there's no fans there on the seats. It's there every game. Is that good enough, or do you want? Oh no, that's not enough. That's performative. Do you want just push everything in through Congress to help black people, like voting rights, all that? Is that what you mean?
To me, it just feels like we're the most.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but like if you talking about Congress, like didn't they just pass something through?
The
like,
Asian.
That jump got the speed route.
Like I don't know if we have anything
that was next
like
day
that.
delivery.
And it wasn't really Asian. It was more so catered to like, because they were getting like, it was more so like COVID related, because a lot of people were discriminating against them because of how COVID started. And so if you look at that bill, it's tied directly to COVID.
So I don't know. I guess I don't. I don't understand what we want per se, and I feel like I don't know.
I guess
I
can't
see
speak.
hijack.
How is it
Not hijack.
I feel like this shit get
by
hijacked.
what? By who? I guess I don't understand.
I guess I don't know. I don't
the
want
most
to
popular thing in the world right now, Black Lives Matter is. I don't know. I don't see it.
I just feel like we don't like. It's always something else like tagged on. Like it's like we have an array. We have an array of fucking problems, right? We have a lot. There are a lot of human rights issues. Like there's classism. There's a whole lot of discrimination going on. But like I just feel like, and me personally, I don't know if this is how I address problems. But like I think really approaching one problem at a time. Like I mean, yeah, obviously thinking cohesively and thinking of like what the bigger thing is. But I think if you really focus on black people, like you will tack on a lot of the other areas that are experiencing discrimination, that are experiencing these other issues. Like why not focus on the main group that has been wronged and is still fucked over about this thing? And like I get the I don't even want to bring up another community specifically, but like just the fact that we are behind, like you said earlier, 200 years and we're still like trying to figure that out. There are still housing laws that don't allow us to build wealth, that don't allow us to get the right houses in the right areas because we can't afford that shit because like our parents don't have that wealth like that a lot of the white families have or a lot of the other families have. Like it's so many things in place that set us so far behind. It is like years worth of damage.
But I will say you need to get in line. We need to get in line
okay.
because Native Americans have been waiting for that type of justice.
So I guess I
have
many a moons.
I think definitely.
I don't think it's coming.
Like your overall point is that like black people we still are owed a lot of shit. I definitely agree with you, but I guess I don't know. I don't feel like anybody's sharing like our shine right now. Like black people. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris ran a whole campaign, and really all they talked about was black police brutality and social justice, particularly about black people.
They ain't do shit about it yet, though.
They do nothing about it, and because it was the hot thing to talk about.
Well, that's what we're talking. That's two different issues, though. That's putting stuff through Congress, or what we're talking about. What's the focus? I guess we have all the focus. I guess I don't.
But
really...
the thing that I think does get overlooked in terms of what he's saying though is that if you look at some of these other issues, or like if you look at like Stop AIDS, PI hate, and those type of things, those things are looked at as strictly human rights issues. But it's like even if you look at the Olympics, they consider Black Lives Matter to be like a political thing sometimes. Like in terms of like even like the protesting thing where they say you can't wear their stuff, you can't wear your stuff, so they make it into a political issue sometimes rather than just a human rights issue, which does end up changing priorities in the way that it becomes focused on the way that they view it.
Or when you put the knee.
Yeah.
You put your doing the singing.
Which it's one of those things though. But it's like if you say you can't wear a Black Lives Matter shirt, but because it's a political statement. But if you wear a Stop Asian Hate shirt, then that somebody may think that, but that's considered a human rights thing, and it is like two different human rights issues. That's what I'll say would be something that can't be overlooked. Everything is human rights, and I feel like in terms of Black Lives Matter, that became more politicized rather than what it is originally, which is a human rights issue about people's lives.
I don't know.
That's my
Black Lives Matter literally was the most important thing that happened last year. Like and it went from something that was controversial to something that if you're a politician, you can't talk about it. And if you're against it, you probably weren't going to win. Like Donald Trump lost because of Black Lives Matter. Like literally that's the reason why. That, I guess COVID, in the pandemic. Like that was literally the driving force for everything. Like Georgia turned blue. All these things happened. Like I feel like, I don't know, I guess the word is what I'm saying. I guess what I'm looking for is like the Asian American hate thing. I feel like that's something that
it's important.
It's not even that. It's just like it's definitely important. But I'm saying like people. I guess when we're comparing it to Black Lives Matter, like it's like you're comparing like Pluto to Jupiter. Like a couple people might talk about the Asian thing. I mean, it's important, but like I don't think it's taking away anything from Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
Oh, I know, but when you like Malik said, you see that bill pass though, like and I explained what it actually is. Like it has to do with COVID, but when like an average person sees like Stop Asian Hate bill, and we're like, what the fuck? Like we literally been through this for 400 years, and we don't have. I don't know of any Stop Black Hate type shit.
I mean, they passed the anti-lynching law last summer, right? Which they didn't need to pass. That's why I don't understand. I just all this. You can't lynch people. I don't understand. Like that's illegal. You can't lynch people. So when all these Stop Asian, I don't understand.
But I just want to make sure. I
don't
want to make sure that I'm not trying to take anything away from them.
I don't discredit anybody else's struggle. I'm just saying.
I'm talking about just like, strictly from like the focus. I don't think that's really a focus. I feel like it's a red herring that people use to kind of be like people like those little grifty little black nationalist people. Oh, look at that.
I mean, yeah, but even if you kind of, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you just look at the way it's framed. That's framed as a human rights issue, which is common sense. But for Black Lives Matter, it wasn't framed that way for a long time. It took a long time.
I mean, conservatives are attacking people about the Asian thing all sometimes too. I mean, I guess I've seen that too. I'm trying to think something happened.
Didn't only like a couple voted or like one voted?
Yeah.
Not just, and it's only to talk about it on this because it's only the recent example that's in everybody's head.
I mean, the anti-lynching bill last year, one one Republican. Voted against it.
Of course he did.
I mean, his point was it's already illegal to lynch people, so I don't want to vote a bill, which I kind of understand, but like whatever. But I don't know. I see your point. I think by far, I think that's just like that's a distraction. I don't know. I guess like that type of thing.
Ding, ding, ding.
Perfect timing.
Man, that was fun.
Yeah. Wow. We ran the gamut there.
Boy, man, we started off talking about Nas. We went in a little bit of capitalism, we learned about welfare, we learned about...
It kind of was a natural progression if you think about it.
I'm glad you started off.
Gosh.
First.
That was fun. I just feel like there's way more to say.
I have
We
one
gotta
thing.
get-
I had like 20 more minutes about Nas ready.
I got 20 more of this topic for sure.
We gotta revisit this for sure.
I mean, I don't know. We can have to do a second topic on that. I would say episode on that topic. I mean, no, damn it, fuck. It's like,
Nobody cares what y'all rule think.
Nah, but that's big. I think it is one of our topics.
Darian was
We
saying
talked about
this.
that before, like when we talked about Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. And
the Pain Olympics.
yeah, Olympics.
We'll just have we'll just have somebody from every minority group here. We got the Pain Olympics.
Tell me,
all the
how
bad
do you
things.
feel?
How
is America wrong?
Who
was the worst?
We're gonna get a Palestinian nigga. We gonna get somebody. Bro, I forgot. Stonewall did happen.
Yeah.
Gotta get them up in here too. We getting a little bit of everybody up
We
in
have the
here.
Pain Olympics next episode 7.
Oh, a Latin American individual as well.
Pain Olympics, wasn't that
Got that woman.
on that video?
Is it? Maybe.
No, the video when we was like in middle school with a dude like people chopping up.
No, don't remember.
Okay, if there's a video called that's not what I was talking about.
They win.
That's not what I was talking
We not
about.
copyrighting it.
I'm about to say, I was talking about.
We watched a lot of.
I'm not fighting a bunch of dickless dudes over that title.
Yo, if y'all think about it, we watched Roots in like.
Yeah, the VME Pain Olympics. Y'all remember that?
No, Malik.
I don't remember that. I don't remember anything about.
Well, that's not what I was talking about when I used that phrase. Whenever
Bring in some women too. That's what he was saying.
Yeah, so bringing some all the marginalized groups Pain Olympics next week or 2 weeks from now. Temptation.
And we'll throw a white guy a bone and see what he wants to play
I'm
on.
about to say, man, right? Like, to see it'll be like the country, like the Olympics. You know, ain't gonna win, but like they.
I'm gonna bring in a white dude from West Virginia who's a minor, and we can talk about how they took their germs.
It's too bad because he hate niggas. So
he hate everybody. In this
I ain't
room.
getting a goddamn wrong with y'all.
All right, let's finish the goddamn podcast. We're at an hour. I think that was a really good
That was
good
fun.
segment. We should try that again.
Oh man, that was good.
Maybe not use such heavy topic. Only because like the 10 minutes. I don't know. I fucking loved it. Let's do it again. Screw it. It's your man Shut Up Cole here from the beautiful Film Studios, episode 72.
This man's on Willie W. Now sucks.
Just being jerk. It's your boy Malik, aka Baby Geek and Leak.
It's your boy Darian, aka Clark Kent, and these are the Hentakes.
Nas the best rapper of all time.
Oh wow!
You don't even believe it.
My God!
If Nas would give me millions of dollars.
Damn, that's smooth.